For centuries, people have gathered around small wooden boards, covered in strange letters and numbers. They place their fingers on a planchette, hoping to speak with spirits from another world. Some say it's all a trick, while others believe it holds the answers to life's mysteries. The Ouija board has, for many years, been a source of wonder and fear. People from all over the world have used it to try and communicate with unknown forces. Some have found comfort in its messages, while others have felt terror. We wish to share the history, the beliefs, and the science behind this mysterious board. The Ouija board is a flat board with letters from A to Z, numbers from 0 to 9, and sometimes words like yes, no, and goodbye. A small piece called a planchette is placed on top. When people lightly rest their fingers on the planchette, they hope it will move to spell out messages. Many believe these messages come from spirits, ghosts, or other unseen beings. Others argue that it is just a trick of the mind. No matter which side a person believes, the Ouija board has become famous for its mystery. The Ouija board first became popular in the late 1800s. During this time, people in the United States were very interested in spiritualism. Spiritualism is a belief that the spirits of the dead can talk to the living. Mediums, or people who said they could contact spirits, led small gatherings where people tried to talk to loved ones who had passed away. This movement spread quickly, and many were eager for tools and methods to communicate with the afterlife. The exact origins of the board are not entirely clear, but one version of its story begins with two sisters named Kate and Margaret Fox, who were famous mediums in the mid-1800s. They said they could hear knocking sounds from spirits. Their claims led people to seek new ways to talk to ghosts. By the 1890s, a man named Elijah Bond secured a patent for the talking board, and soon after, a businessman named William Fuld created his own version, calling it the Ouija board. The word Ouija was said to come from combining the French and German words for yes, oui, and ja. Others say the name was simply spelled out on the board itself during a session. People loved the idea of getting fast answers from the spirit world. Instead of waiting for knocks or strange sounds, they could watch the planchette slide directly to letters. It felt more direct and clear. The board became a popular game to play at parties, and many families kept one in their homes. Children and adults alike were curious about what the spirits might say. During times of war or great loss, the board grew even more popular as people tried to reach relatives who had passed away. As time went on, two main beliefs appeared. One group said the board was truly a tool for talking to spirits. They believed that the living could contact souls or ghosts in another realm. In their view, a simple board could be a doorway to the unknown. Another group claimed the board was powered by the user's own minds through something called the ideomotor effect. The ideomotor effect happens when people move an object without realizing they are doing it. In other words, small unconscious movements push the planchette around, spelling out words. According to this idea, the Ouija board does not speak to spirits at all. Many scientists and psychologists support the ideomotor explanation. They have done tests to show that if someone is blindfolded and cannot see the letters, the messages spelled out by the board often make little sense. This suggests that vision and small muscle movements might be responsible for the planchette's actions. Still, believers say these tests do not prove anything because the presence or mood of the spirits may change under different conditions. Countless stories involve frightening moments with the Ouija board. Some people claim they have spoken to kind spirits who offer helpful advice or words of comfort. Others share tales of darker encounters, reporting that mean or harmful spirits took control of the session. One famous story involves a user who believed they had been contacted by a demon, leading to nightmares and strange events in their home. Many other stories are more comforting, telling of spirits of loved ones saying they are at peace. Because of these dramatic tales, some religious groups warn against using the Ouija board. They say it can open a portal to harmful beings. On the other hand, some argue that the board is just a game, no different from any other type of entertainment. They see it as a fun way to explore the mind's mysteries or to enjoy a spooky evening with friends. In the study of the Ouija board, scientists focus on how the human brain works. They say when a person expects or hopes for a message, their mind helps guide the planchette, even if they do not notice. This does not mean people are always faking it. Often, the movements are truly out of their control. Their brains and muscles work together on a deep level, moving the planchette in ways that feel like an outside force. Some experiments place users behind screens or ask them to wear masks so they cannot see where the planchette is going. In many cases, the messages no longer make sense, suggesting that sight plays a big part in forming words. Scientists also point out that group settings can increase the sense of mystery because multiple people can move the planchette at once. Each person adds small pushes, making the planchette glide around the board smoothly. The Ouija board has appeared in many movies, TV shows, and books. Some stories show it as an innocent game. Others show it as a dangerous tool that summons evil. Because of these dramatic portrayals, many now see the Ouija board as an object of horror or danger. Nevertheless, sales of the board remain steady, especially around Halloween when people seek spooky experiences. In the late 20th century, some toy companies took over production of the board, marketing it as a party game. This caused debates about whether children should be encouraged to contact spirits or if it was simply make-believe. Despite these disagreements, the Ouija board remained popular. Today, it is sold in toy stores and online, and it still sparks questions about the unknown. People in different parts of the world have their own versions of spirit boards or methods for contacting the dead. In some cultures, there are traditions of using special objects or speaking certain words to reach ancestors. Others have careful rules for how to treat the dead and communicate with them. While many methods differ, the desire to speak with those who have passed on remains a common human wish. Some see the Ouija board as a Western take on these older traditions. However, critics argue that a mass-produced board cannot compare to deep cultural rituals. They say the spiritual beliefs of certain communities involve special rites passed down for centuries, unlike something sold in a box at a toy store. People who believe in the power of the Ouija board often offer rules and tips for safe use. For example, they suggest starting with a prayer or a positive intention. They warn never to play alone. They also advise to always say goodbye at the end of a session, so any spirit that might be present knows to leave. Some worry that skipping these steps can lead to negative forces lingering around. Skeptics, on the other hand, say these steps do not have any real effect. They see them as part of the imagination. Still, that many follow these rituals because they bring a sense of comfort. Even if one does not believe in spirits, these steps can help create a respectful mood when using the board. Some people have reported that a session guided them to hidden information they could not have known otherwise. For example, a person might say the board spelled out the location of a lost item. Others say they learned facts about someone who passed away, which they later found to be true. However, close inspection often finds that the users already had the information hidden in their memory. The mind can store many details that people do not remember until a special trigger, like a Ouija session, brings them out. There have also been stories of supposed crimes linked to Ouija board sessions. Some individuals claimed a spirit told them to do something bad. Investigations usually reveal deeper problems in their lives, such as stress or mental illness, rather than a real command from a ghost or demon. These cases often cause fear among the public. Yet experts remind us that blame may rest on psychological factors, not the board itself. Today, the Ouija board remains a subject of debate. Some see it as a harmless party game. Others view it as a tool for serious spiritual contact. Many simply find it fascinating, whether they believe in spirits or not. It stands as a reminder of how people have always longed for answers. The idea that a simple piece of wood could open a door to the unknown still grabs people's attention. In museums and popular exhibits, antique Ouija boards are often displayed as a piece of American history. They represent a time when spiritualism was a major movement. They also show how easily mystery and commerce can mix. By looking at the Ouija board, viewers can see how humans try to face big questions. What happens when we die? Can spirits speak to us? Do we have hidden powers in our own minds? Whether one believes in the supernatural or not, the Ouija board stands at the crossroads of science, faith, and curiosity. For some, it remains a cherished connection to lost loved ones. For others, it is a strange toy that can spark the imagination. In any case, it has earned a place in the public mind, weaving itself into stories and legends. As long as people yearn for answers about life and death, the Ouija board will likely remain a point of interest. The Ouija board story is about more than letters on a board. It is about the power of belief, the search for meaning, and the mysteries of the human brain. From crowded parlors in the 1800s to modern living rooms, the board has traveled a long path. Each user carries with them a question. Is there really someone or something guiding the planchette? Or is the user the true guide, moving it with their own hidden thoughts? That question remains unanswered, leaving everyone to decide for themselves. Thank you for exploring the history and mystery of the Ouija board. Whether it is a mere toy or a gate to the unknown, it continues to spark questions that have no easy answers. Stay curious, keep asking questions, and remember that sometimes the search for truth can be just as important as the truth itself.